It's been a while since I've done one of these, but let's talk about results. And I guess this is a great excuse to relive everything that happened during that Japan trip. It was one of the best, if not the best, world's trip ever in my career. And, it was just amazing to see people from around the world and just having, some time off to myself and the boys. So here we go. Let's talk about Worlds. I haven't really gotten to kind of sit down and talk about what is exactly happened, but as you can see, 5 Bavsagra made it to the top 8, and that is no surprise at the moment. Bavsagra is unbanned, unrestricted in any way. Being able to play 4 Warlords is just really, really strong. And then 1 Bat, Rezal, and Leverdress, the 3 Outlanders, trying to fight in a Bavsagra environment. So congrats to the top 8 world finalists. For standard, I know Rickson, one of my boys that traveled with me, also made it in top 8 and losing out in the top 8 match. Then the top 4, first place was Bavsagra Bamboo, taking it all home. That very nice Akina Keta Stunner. Second place, Blackwing X with Bat. Third, Excel with Bavsagra. And fourth, Dominic with Rezal. So the fact that Rezal made it past the top 8 is very, very surprising to me. But let's look at the lists. So these are the lists that are published by the official Vanguard page. So just kind of taking a look at what you're expecting to see from Bavsagra. This will probably be in effect for most of the Bushiroad Summerfest season until obviously the next conference somewhere. Hopefully we get a ban list, right? Yeah, pretty straightforward. You've got obviously Jungmashad, the new Restander, and then 4 Veilord for Trick Moon, and then for Cindy's. This list plays double mace, double shield, and it's just, being able to arm multiple weapons in the same turn allows you to generate insane advantage. Regardless piece being fire regardless, being able to find your Restanders, your Trick Moons, especially if you don't have Trick Moons or Cindy's, it makes the game very, very hard. Then the second place, Eleglemma. This one is very straightforward. The only weird thing is maybe the Engarten, but I guess the Meteor makes sense. I know that there are some lists out there that run the Prison Order to be able to Soul Charge 3, but I guess the Soul Charge on this is not mandatory, so you're able to shuffle it back, get Precision Soul Charge in terms of the number of cards in your deck. Playing 2 heals, only 2 Soul Fronts, and playing 3 Effect Fronts. Shield fronts, which is, I don't know. I kind of really like the soul fronts, but then again, if you're playing Meteor, and especially if you're playing the Prison Order, you might not need the soul fronts. Rest of crits, 2 heals, and yeah, all of the other good stuff. So 4 Salviad, 4 Tech 10, 2 of the Jumbo Crusher. Yeah, pretty straightforward stuff. Then the third place, Bavsagra. This one, yeah, very straightforward. Only playing 3 Cindy. This player played 3 Defensing Raw, which I think the idea of Defensing Raw is potentially to grind out the mirror. So if your deck lasts longer than the opposing Bavsagra, then I guess you have an edge, right? Unless you get hit by OT or whatever. Playing 2 of the effect crit heals. So really good in the mirror again, and also very good into Eleglemma because your Jumbo Crushers get crit, so this becomes immediate 25k shield. Fire Regalis is the Regalis chosen and only playing 1 shield, so yeah, not being able to multi-equip shields is, I don't know how I feel about that. I really like double shield, but depends on the intention of the deck. Then the 4th place Rezal, this one is pretty crazy. Tefalt Wisdom Order with Sergaun still doing good. Biscotti is really good, especially if you're calling it on the battle phase. You're able to check top. You're essentially seeing I think it's 5 cards or something, or more cards than usual. Being able to stack your deck is really strong. If you get that in the early game with Tefalt, Wisdom, Sergaun, then you might just win, right? Especially if you get Roland going first. Then jumping to the more interesting side, and that is Premium. So let's just look at the top 8 breakdown first. So this one is really odd, especially because we're coming off a nuclear ban list, one of the most impactful ban lists ever in the Premium format. And surprisingly enough, it was a really good ban list. It made players think outside of the box to build decks for the World Finals, and this is what we got, right? Like during the event, I was there. I'm that guy, the shout guy. During the event, I still saw, stuff that got hit on the previous ban list, like, Mythic Ghidorah. You still saw Grand Blue, still saw, Victor, Irads, all that stuff. Angel Gizeh's on there. So there's a lot of, creativity, right? And I think when you go into the World Finals, you're bringing the deck that gives you the best edge against everyone else. And if you can think of like an insane deck to win, then, you're winning, right? So props to, obviously, Ned, who won the whole World Finals, becoming world champion with Fenrir. And I think Fenrir was practically untouched because Valencia was not hit on the previous ban list, but other variants of Fenrir did. So not hitting Valencia meant that Fenrir had a way to, I guess, return stuff to the bottom of the deck, giving you precision drive checks and then crit rotate and your opponent's just dead, right? But just looking at this infographic, right, two Nova Grappler, two completely different Nova Grappler decks, and the only double up is Highlander, right? So we can see Highlander come back, Night Rose is back, Mythic Ghidorah didn't really go anywhere. It's still a really nice deck, still grinding out games, and then like newcomers like Dalita Messiah is really good, and then Hole on the Wall, Shout decks, and Victor, So a lot of great innovation from the players that brought it to Worlds, and there's still other decks that are even on this graphic, like Spike Brothers, Hellheart 8, like amazing stuff, right? But let's not faffle on. So first place, like I said, Ned, world champ, insane deck, insane player. He was the guy I'm beating pretty much at the start of the World Finals. I was like, well, if I'm not beating Ned, I'm not winning Worlds, so I have to build my deck to beat him. And he is the only guy I'm scared of in the room, and so be it. Like during Swiss, I lost to the Daivangsai that also came top 8 because he hit a draw trigger into a 15k shield. Really unfortunate for me. But the two clear losses that I lost were Ned. So one in Swiss, one in Top Cut. Top Cut was extremely close, and it was just really unfavorable because there were shout checks that didn't get me recyclers, and then when I checked, it was all recyclers out. Yeah, that was it. So Ned, insane world champion, really strong player. Can't say anything more about that. Robo Frenzy, Buff Ben. This guy has been having an insane season. I played him 3 times in Swiss during the season and went 1-2 against him. So I won when I was playing Katrina and then lost twice when I was playing Angel Gizeh into him. Like, finessed with Victor from the start to the end of the season. Really strong season from this guy. Made top cut every single regional that he played, like incredible. Third was myself. I do have a shout deck profile on my channel. I've also created a Metafy guide, literally telling you every single line, every single matchup that matters and how to approach each of them. It's on my Metafy, feel free to check it out. And then 4th place was Gabriel Tan, so Light X Dark with Highlander. He had to face me and Josh in Swiss and Top Cut playing the exact same 66 and got looped out of the game. But yeah, incredible player. He won BCS Indo, topped many during the season, and to come top 4 at Worlds is incredible, right? So all of these players on this graphic is just ridiculous, right? Like high level AO players, can't really say any more to that. So let's just look at Ned's deck. Well, that was my deck. So that's that. Here, Ned's deck. This is Ned's deck. So Ned's deck, pretty cool, I gotta say. He innovated on, I guess, how Fenrir played with less gouges and included this card. So Physis, really cool because you can essentially look at the top 4 and stack them. If your opponent gives you a bunch of CB, they're dead. You don't actually have to go through all of the cards in your deck, but it gives you some insight on cards that are at the top 4, and then you can kind of put them to the bottom in any order. Makes crit stacking a lot easier, especially if you see a crit in the top 4. But otherwise, Replar, very similar to his list, coming second in France, I believe. But essentially, you're able to get multi-attacks of OT power, just being able to copy the power and crit gained by trigger effects on the rearguard that he stacks it on. Playing leading as a starter, also playing a V starter. So I was speaking to him briefly about this, and it was because in matchups where you just need the quick shield and the draw 1 is really handy and you don't really need the extra attack, that's when you're using this, and it's good, right? So not in a shout matchup, maybe in anything a little bit more aggressive, being able to draw into your piece is really good too, where less denial or less need for bracing angel ladder, and then if you get your leading, then it's good, but otherwise it doesn't really matter. Playing all the good stuff, 4 Valencias to be able to stack. I had the idea of Grappa as well, but I think he also used Grappa in his initial list, playing the Vine or Vin or whatever it's called, being able to essentially grab any normal unit from soul back to hand for free. Like this guy literally cooked with this deck, perfected it, playing 2 Rack Tome as well, being able to have precision numbers on the amount of deck count that you have, and then the Coburn inclusion as well, being able to have early shield, early big shield, especially if your opponent has a big hand. So yeah, incredible player. Being able to do this explosively on turn 3 is really, really strong. Then looking at this is my list, so it's this list here. So this is Robo Frenzy, very straightforward. I think this is as good as Victor gets, playing 2/2 of the V Victor, 2 of the G Victor, 1 Zubat. You don't need to play multiple Zubats because I feel that Link Joker is not a threat in the format at the moment, and Erads, I don't know, I don't feel like you need to worry too much about Erads, especially if you have Gunsden to be able to give your whole board resist. And pretty interesting stuff like playing 1 Red Lightning here for counter charge, but still acting as a crit. 3 of the G Arashid, no more V Arashid, and then playing 4 Brutal Jack. That was not in his list before. So being able to force rest stuff, but I don't see why you would force rest stuff. So I'm not too sure about that one, but being able to have just a really fat attacker like 19k, 24 and XL2 is just really strong. But yeah, pretty much everything else is normal. This is a cool inclusion. So Tri-Brute, being able to snipe off Honolys in the early game, setting you up for a really good mid to late game stride. So yeah, very cool list. And then looking at the shout list, I explained it in my video. Don't really want to faffle on too much about this. But essentially, the reason why I played a deck like this is because it was unfair enough to beat another unfair deck, which was Ned. He was the guy that I'm looking out for. I had targets on him, but it wasn't enough. So, it's a really cool deck. It's a very skill expressive deck. So pretty much if you don't have the foundations of Cardfight Vanguard, knowing how to sequence, if you're a really good Pokemon player, I think this is a really good deck for you. Knowing how to sequence and have card probability calculations of the cards in your deck, really, really strong. And pretty much every single card in this deck had its own role. Really, really thoroughly thought out deck. Again, shout out to Rickson and Josh for putting this all together, right? Then we have the top 4 Highlander. This one is actually pretty straightforward, and it's maxed, like 4, swimsuit reindeers, pretty much, or maybe not fully maxed, so like no rainbow signs, but all the nice stuff, right? So Gabriel has been playing this for like ages, still has it in his back pocket, an emergency pick if anything goes wrong. But yeah, very, very blinged out, and incredible player, like can't really say too much about that. And just a really, really amazing down-to-earth guy. So yeah, congrats to you, Gabriel. And obviously Gav would have, played a part in this deck. I think Gav didn't play the Pearl Sisters, whereas Gabriel did. So, just slight differences in their decks as well. Then looking at Daivangsai. So Daivangsai was my first JP event. It was so fun being able to play in a teams format just before Summerfest starts, and with my two boys, Jay Lee and Rickson. And this is kind of like the distribution, right? So being able to see a lot of Blangmaya, Astashion, and Bavsagra being the top dominant decks, along with like Bat, and then the next kind of segment is like Artasaria, Berry, Mygo, the lower tier stuff, right? But yeah, I did see a lot of Astashion. I sat in the middle playing Blangmaya. I saw a lot of Astashion. The side were a lot of Blang, Bavs, and the first seat is a lot of Bats. So, you know, these are the 4 big decks to look out for in set 8. And then just looking at the distribution, so a lot of teams brought Bav. Bav was pretty much undisputedly the best deck in the format, probably after Blang, or as equal as Blang, Stashion and Bat just under that. But yeah, as you can see, a lot of teams bringing Bat, a lot of teams bringing Blang and Bavsagra, right? Like, just really, really cool. And first event ever, and finally got my name on there, which is really cool. So me sitting in the middle with Blangmaya, and yeah, the two boys got me the deck and I played it. So very, very cool. And then I guess looking at the top 32 as well, top 32 had a lot of, you know, other decks like, you know, Magnolia Patriarch, Luard, Levadras. There was a team from Korea, this one here, Seraph's Prison. So we played against them, and this was the game that Rickson got crit OT'd, but bringing Messiah, Avamuchika, and Seraph, which was really cool. So a lot of, you know, differences in team format. You can bring like, you know, different ride lines that you normally wouldn't see. And this event was not diversity cuts. So being able to see a lot of like weird stuff like this Koro Black, and then Dragonic Overlord, obviously with the new order. Kyrie was there. I would have actually thought there would be more Kyrie representation. Mygo was there too. And then like Archite was there. Varga was there. Like pretty crazy stuff. So yeah, Daivangsai, absolutely amazing event. If I have to give anyone any advice, just go to Dangasai, play it. If you're not playing it, just be there at least once in your lifetime. Like, the event was just so cool. Lots of things to do, lots of mini games, side events, and just a lot of things, you know, just being able to walk around, see like the deco, the decoration was just incredible. Yeah, just go to Dangasai. Then we also had WGP 2025 Season 1 in Osaka. So this event was a singles event, and a lot of players brought Bavsagra, and I think it was also not diversity cut. So lots of Bavsagra, and over double the amount of Ella Glamour were Bavsagra players, which is crazy. So only 5 Ella Glamour players, and Virgila is there as well. So Virgila obviously got its new form in the festival collection booster. And yeah, tearing apart the whole scene. I think they had 7 rounds Swiss day 1 with 3 on day 2 or something like that. And yeah, Virgila is one of the decks to look out for now, which is really cool. So Blang is still there, and then pretty much the rest of everything else. And then the distribution across every, I guess, player that was in the room, a lot of Bavsagras. The next one will be Blang, Bat, Astashion, and Virgila, pretty much the BBB format. So yeah, you know, that's pretty much like the decks that you'll be looking out for if you're playing at WGP in the JP format, or looking at for the Set 8 and Summerfest format. Then the top 4 was actually taken by Varga. So this was absolutely crazy news. I was just, I think I was at locals, and then someone was like, hey, Varga won. I was like, what do you mean? Like, oh yeah, they won WGP Season 1 Osaka. And I was like, are you kidding me? And I was watching the stream. I was like, holy cow, how did Varga win the whole event? Like, that is really cool. And I think the VA, the voice actor for Now, was there as well. So that's like double winning. You're winning the event and you get a congratulations from the VA for Now. That is really cool, right? So first place was Varga, second was Bavsagra, third Virgila, and fourth Bavsagra. very, very cool. And just kind of looking at the decks here, you're able to see some of the deck log codes in the images there. There was a Blankmeyer duo, well, 2 Blankmeyer players, one playing the normal Blankmeyer in their right line and one playing the 0 in the right line. I looked at this list and it was like playing multiple of the old Blank in main deck, but not playing the boosting order. So that's pretty cool. Seraph making it there too, at 3rd place after Swiss. Other ones like Leonor made it there, 9th place after Swiss. A lot of Virgilers. I think Virgila is going to be like one of the hot decks coming up in the format. And then just like, man, the fact that the top 32 was where the Varga sat and won the whole event, right? That's really cool. Lutetia even made it too at 32nd place, and then the Messiah as well. So yeah, lots of crazy stuff happening that weekend. And we also had WGP Season 1 Thailand, where this is a singles event. Majority were above Sagra, and then the next one being Virgila. So again, Virgila, one of the decks that is coming up on the horizon. So definitely look out for that. And then looking at the top 4, top 3 were all above Sagras, and then the one lone lemon dress in 4th place. So yeah, that's pretty much all of the results. If you guys want to check out the decks, vg-paradox.com. Fuzzy here is doing an amazing job, but can't do an amazing job without you guys. So if you guys are attending Bushiroad Summerfest and you guys topped, make sure you fill out the form on his website. And if I have to open his website to kind of tell you guys where it is, there is a big fat button that says Bushiroad Summerfest submission form. If you guys top, make sure you press that and submit your list. It will help him and help myself cover the results for the world to see and just kind of give my thoughts on what happens during the Summerfest. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Pop a like, comment down below what you guys think of all the results over the past 2 to 3 weeks. I've been so away from everything, but you know, being able to reminisce what happened during Worlds is really cool. If you guys haven't already, click that subscribe button and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.